Alright, next on the list before I die of
Okay,
laughter.
so we're done with the most lively character ever. We're gonna go to the shy and quiet, the tiger of the Chinese zodiac, which is Kisa Soma. She is super, super cute and a girly girl. She is described as so by Takaya, which is the author of Fruits Basket. Kisa has a very troubled past with her school because she was always bullied by the way she looked. Um, and
Mhm.
whenever everybody just since everybody saw that, they kept making fun of her and she didn't really care. She's like, well, I can't help that I look like this. Instead of just stopping entirely for bullying her, whenever she talked, they'd laugh at her.
No, they would ignore her, and then when she stopped talking, they would laugh at her.
Mhm. So she just became this totally withdrawn person, like, she ran away from home. She made her mother worry, and
She
oh
also made
my
Hatsuharu
god.
go on a fucking goose chase looking for her.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But yeah, other than that, she's just a cute and very shy girl.
One that
She
I
is baby.
You can't if you can't tell by that statement alone, she like Momiji, she is Crossy's baby girl.
there's a picture.
This is Crossy's other child in this series.
Mhm. Kisa is also like, put it this way, if let's be fair here, if it weren't for Toru, Kisa would have probably been just as if not more emotionally fucked up than Kyo. And that's saying something, given what the shit Kyo endured as a child.
But thanks to Toru, she now looks up to her like a big sister.
Mhm.
Even going as far as calling her big sis Toru or sissy.
Yep, another way of showing how special Toru is to the entirety of the cursed Soma family. Any thoughts for little Kiss Kiss?
She is a baby. She is relatable and again a baby girl.
I
Cinnamon roll.
honestly, until I didn't know her past, I thought she was a little stubbornish child because tiger personality and all. Because since most tigers are like that, but once I got to know her, she's very precious and gentle.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest, like when I first hearing bits and pieces of Kisa and when I was looking up when I was typing notes while we were binging at the same time, I'm gonna be honest, like with Kisa, she gave me an impression initially of someone who had a big fucking chip on her shoulder. And to a degree I was right, but at the same time she was a lot more than that. Like she went through emotionally, she went through a lot of hell.
Yeah, to the
Because
point that it drove her mute, which is
mhm.
absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't help. Like Kisa is someone that, if you think about it, is, as Crossy said, very relatable. Because one thing that has been said more than once is that kids can be fucking cruel,
Mhm.
and this is no exception. Like what happens to Kisa is no exception. Like kids can be even unintentionally they can be really cruel.
Yeah.
Kisa, you just want to give her a hug. Maybe
She's a baby girl.
she's, how do I put this? If you want to give her a hug, like someone like basically how we would discuss in the Boondocks review, how Jasmine from the Boondocks would need a hug for all the crap she's dealt with. Granted, nowhere near as bad as Kisa, but still.
How many more characters we got? Getting
We're
anywhere.
gonna go. We still have the sheep. We still have the monkey, the head god herself, and the master.
Okay. We'll put the head god, the person, as last because,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's go.
So I guess
All right.
Ritsu's next.
Actually, I'm going by how they appeared.
Okay.
After Kisa comes Hiro, which is the sheep of the Chinese zodiac or the ram. He is very stuck up. He I don't know how to explain him. He's just like, "Oh my god." He
Hiro
has this sense of
Soma.
authority. He has this sense of authority, like, oh, you're gonna do this to me, but then you'll be this and that, and what if
He's
this and this happens? And I was like, oh my freaking god, like he's so full of himself. It's annoying.
If his attitude prescribes is what we call a spoiled rich kid personality.
Yes.
That's when I first
I
saw
don't
him.
have to
I
be
got
at the
his
level
vibes.
of you peons.
If
God.
anything is going all Eric Cartman, respect my authority on people.
Yeah, it's like out of all of the Soma family, he when in the newer one, I start to like him more towards the end because like he grew the fuck up, but I absolutely hate him in the original.
You know, you'll never get anywhere unless you learn how to think for yourself. Do I have to have a reason to be here? Maybe I'm just sitting here because I want to.
Out of
Well-
all of the zodiacs, not including the god herself, Hiro has to take the page for most hated in my book.
So I will say, most of the things he does and stuff is because he's got feelings for the Tiger Girl.
They were best friends. They were best friends since elementary school. But yeah, Hiro likes Kisa. And he was furious when he found out that Toru actually was the one that allowed her to open back up.
Mhm.
And there's more to it, but that involves the newer involves a newer one, and I don't want to spoil too much, so we're gonna leave it as that.
Yeah, it's probably best. Ugh.
All right, so thoughts on the sheep?
I kind of found him annoying, to be honest. The way
Meh.
he was being a bit of a little shit.
You're a bitch! You're a bitch! You're a bitch!
That's all I gotta say. He just needed his ass beat.
Frosty?
I agree with Justin.
Bad.
He's being bad.
He's being bad to the bone.
Bad.
Okay, my honest opinion of Hero. You know, up till you mentioned that bit about Cartman from South Park, I didn't think about that, but now I hate him almost as much as I hate Cartman.
Respect my authority.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, when I hear him talk like the little shithead he acts like sometimes, especially to Kisa, I hear him bleating like an angry fucking sheep.
Bad.
But he has some good qualities. Too bad they're far and few in between.
They actually show more in the newer anime, the remake, but sadly, we're not here to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I believe we are done with the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
At
Next
this
up is the
point,
monkey.
pretty much.
Last up is sadly we don't get to see all the zodiac animals in the old one. There's two that we will leave out, but just for the sake of information, I will go ahead and state their names and their zodiac. Ritsu Soma is the horse, and Kureno Soma is the rooster. All right. That set aside, we're gonna go ahead and dive into the last Chinese zodiac that is shown in the original, and that is the very beautiful but unstable Ritsu Soma.
The monkey.
He is a man that feels comfortable in women's clothing, so he often dresses as a female. He is very apologetic. He overreacts a lot. Fun fact, his mother is actually the owner of a Soma family hot spring, and he is supposed to inherit said position when he's ready. So yeah, being the monkey, he is he has really really fast reflexes and a very what's the word? Agile? He has a really agile body. But yeah, super super beautiful even as a dude. Toru herself thought Ritsu was a woman, and then he he was bumped into and turned into um the monkey, and just like it just made him overreact. But yeah,
Monkey.
low self-esteem, and he overreacts and apologizes a lot.
Monkey.
Even though most of his shit, even though most of the shit is not his fault.
Though, if I had to
Yep.
say, I think he most likely gets it from his mother.
Hmm.
And it doesn't help that, to an extent, Ritsu acts a lot like Shiguri's editor in that regard.
I'm sorry.
All right, thoughts on the unstable Ritsu?
I almost want someone to put him in a straitjacket and just give him some medicine to calm his ass down because he concerns me a lot.
He's
I'm
extremely
so sorry.
he's extremely high strung. Like, I'd say, honestly, if you want to go the route of Bob Marley, put a fucking joint in his mouth and make him smoke it for a while. It'll calm him the fuck down. But no, honestly, he's Ritsu, like any of those Zodiac members, have their issues.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad part is, if you think about it, despite his high strung personality, he actually got treated better than any child raised by a parent who basically raised a Zodiac child. So if anything, Ritsu got arguably the best possible care compared to the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not another fun fact. Shigure often likes to poke at Ritsu's insecurities,
Oh
sadly
yeah.
enough. And it can be seen with how he manipulates Ritsu into talking his editor, into like leaving and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, it actually makes Ritsu slightly better off as a person long term. Like I said,
Oh, another fun fact,
ironically.
Ritsu actually ends up being a couple with Mitsuru in the end.
Aww.
That's nice.
All right, so anything else for the monkey?
Monkey.
She is very relatable. I'll say, like her story kind of gets you in the feels.
Dearie, him.
His story gets you in the feels. Sorry, it's just no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry. If I were to have seen Ritsu and had to like guess their gender for the first time, I think he's a woman.
Even I wasn't entirely sure, and I usually can tell.
Dude looks like a lady.
You wouldn't be wrong there.
All right, so no more thoughts on our pal Ritsu the monkey.
Not really.
All right, so I've explained Isuzu the horse and Kureno the rooster. Again, they don't appear in the original, so if you want more information, you'll have to watch the newer or read.
Mhm.
So we're gonna go to one of the minor characters and then go into the heinous of them all. Cosmosoma. He is the man behind Kyo, Kagura Yuki, and Hatsuharu's knowledge of karate because he's part of the Soma family and he runs a dojo where he teaches a whole bunch of other people, a lot of younger kids. And fun fact, his grandfather was cursed by the spirit of the cat through his own ignorance as a kid, because he was approached by his grandfather and offered sweets and treats, and he's like, no, if I talk to you or eat your stuff, I'll get cursed, because again, the spirit of the cat is looked down upon by the Soma family. So after seeing all of his shit that he did when he was a kid, and then he saw like the newer spirit of the cat, Kyo, he grew to understand, and he actually thought it'd be like a remedy to take this kitten that was possessed by the cat, kind of like an act of self-forgiveness,
Not
so he
just
can like
not just that, but also redemption because
yeah,
of
to redeem
how
himself.
he unknowingly, to an extent, and unwittingly treated his grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
who was like you said, the original owner of the cat spirit curse.
Mm-hmm. But throughout the entire time where he fathered Kyo, he actually grew to love the kid. So that act of self-redemption actually got him, a kid that actually, you look at as your own kid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is Cosmosoma. I believe I got everything. Any thoughts on the dojo clan owner?
I found it cool how he did hit everything he could as to raising Kyo as a sign of a path of self-righteousness or self-forgiveness a bit. But he was pretty cool and everything. I'm just kind of want to see more of his character is all, you know.
Mm-hmm. Which we sadly don't really see until the remake.
I agree.
Anything else you want to add to that, hon?
Mm-mm.
Are you not going to say he's beautiful?
Fine, he's beautiful.
Yes, he's a pretty lady. Anyway.
Yes, I'm a pretty lady.
You're a pretty lady. Okay, Has?
Okay, I was of a couple of minds here when it came to Cosmosoma. Like the dude's had his fair share of issues because of the whole mess of his grandfather and how he initially at one point was just as bad as most of the Soma clan who knew about the cat's curse. But it took his grandfather dying and witnessing Kyo's own horrible treatment for him to realize that he basically fucked up. And while he can never take back how he treated his grandfather, he at least tried to, make amends some way, somehow. He at least, for the better or worse, even with Kyo's foul temper at times, he did do right by the guy. Even with, all the baggage that he and Kyo both had from, the whole cat's curse thing. So ultimately, Cosmo, if nothing else, is a very good parental figure.
Very, very good. Yeah, it's way better than what Kyo had initially.
Yeah, like Kyo's like it's sad that Cosmo turned out to be literally a better father, and he doesn't even and the man didn't never actually fathered any kids, versus Kyo's birth father, who I'm gonna be blunt, he's a fucking scumbag. Again, a lot of this you don't really find out until unless you watch the remake or read the manga, but yeah, basically, I know we're also comparing the manga a lot, but to be fair, the original series we're looking at right now, sadly only stops about 3 volumes into the series, give or take.
Yeah, we only get a third of the story.
Pretty much. So yeah, 3 volumes of story, and this will lead into something we'll discuss later on about some little tidbits here and there about the series overall.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, ultimately, like I said, Kazuma is a pretty good dude, and he definitely deserves, all the respect.
All right, so I believe we are done with Kazuma. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of information, sprinkle some stuff and information about Kyo's actual biological parents, since we're talking about the man that actually brought him up. Kyo's mother actually took her own life by jumping into a railway track, and Kyo was young when this happened. She was one of the very few parents that actually accepted their child as, as cursed. But she was super, super protective of him. She often told him to not leave the house after he accidentally revealed his true form to the public. Yeah, I think that is all for her that is noteworthy. But yeah, she tried to be as loving as possible to Kyo. Although Kyo took this as her being afraid of him because she constantly checked if his beads were there. Because she was afraid that he'd turn into that thing.
Yeah, I mean, we'd show it, but I think it's better you see for yourselves. Because Kyo's true curse form does appear in the original and in the remake.
Mm-hmm.
And needless to say, it basically is the reason why Kyo has been given so much fucking grief.
It's not a pleasant sight.
All right. Kyo's mother set aside. We're gonna go ahead and go to the douchebag, his father. He is very, very, very hateful. He actually kicked Kyo out of the house when his mom decided to kill herself. therefore, Kazuma came over and it's like, okay, well, I'll take you. He blames Kyo on everything that has ever happened. Like, I blame you because you made your mom do this and that. But this is actually later revealed in the story. But it was because of him being so abusive to the mom because she gave birth to the monster of the Zodiac. And that made her lead to actually killing herself. It was never Kyo. It was his dad.
Yeah, but the sad fact is, even after this was like explained in the manga, apparently, he still blamed Kyo. Like he refused to accept any form of remorse or responsibility for his part in her suicide.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Again, asshole.
That is putting it mildly.
You're a bitch!
Okay. Father and mother set aside, let's go ahead and dive into the most heinous character of them all, the mentally ill. Well,
The
it's
head
not
of the
really.
Soma clan.
Yeah, the head of the Soma clan, Akito Soma. She is actually a he in this series because it
They
wasn't until
like okay, there's actually an explanation behind that real quick. In the
that's what I was
original
gonna.
version, yeah, but in the original version, like Akito was assumed to be a he. That was never a confirmation on Akito's gender. And it wasn't until after Volume 3 was finished that they finally had a confirmation on the gender. By then, it was too late for the series to, like, backpedal on that. That's basically what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, Akito is officially a female, but basically listed as a male in the original TV series because again, they didn't have a confirmed gender. It was just an assumed gender that was that Akito's male. And
Yeah.
Akito's personality did not help the confusion on that whatsoever. Especially given Akito's backstory.
So, Akito is a very twisted person. He was she was brought up as male because of his mom.
In this
It
case,
is
you might refer to as
revealed.
a he.
Yeah, it's just so much like, oh my god.
It's
It's
confusing.
actually it's revealed later in the story that his mom, which name shit, I'm keep
Ren
calling him
Soma.
him.
Ren
Yeah,
Soma.
Ren, later revealed to be Ren Soma. It is revealed that she decided to raise Akito as a guy because she was completely disgusted with herself for giving birth to a woman who would be quote unquote god of the zodiac. And that would make Akito gain more attention from Akira, which was her husband. So she was just like fucking ugh, cause
She wouldn't
like
even hold her own kid. That's
mm,
how horrible a parent Ren Soma is.
okay, so Akito, he head of the Soma family. She head of the Soma family. She does not have a curse. She does not have an animal. She is just the god. She describes herself as the god that rules over or quote unquote controls the zodiac. Um, abusive and physically and emotionally has scarred a whole bunch of the Somas. Hattori, Rin, Kyo, Kisa, Yuki, you name it, they've had some sort of abuse come from Akito. Akito is the main reason Akito is the main reason that the Soma family suffers. And this is actually really sad, but she is so abusive with the family because of her mom, because her mom does not believe in the in the zodiac bond, and Akito is so obsessed with proving her wrong that Akito abuses all the family members into staying with her because she is said god.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately true.
I have nothing else. Like, she is a monster. But at the who's snoring?
Justin.
Oh my god.
Justin.
Oh my gosh.
Your thoughts
Ugh.
on Akito?
I wasn't done, but
Yeah, I was waiting for Zammy to be done before I continue my thoughts.
if someone was snoring.
Go ahead.
But
Finish your
yeah.
thoughts.
Akito, everyone's main she's the main reason that everyone's suffering.
Pretty much.
If anything, I just want to say I put a lot of the blame on her mom for that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
Again, if Ren decided to, actually sorry. If Ren decided to actually raise Akito as is, everything would have been fine. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd been a decent parent. Fuck. I just realized something regarding what we just mentioned about Akito, and I want to throw up from this realization. Okay, y'all remember when we did the Bunatsu when we had to talk about Ruckus?
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but in many different respects, personality-wise, Akito was given a very toxic parenting, not that different from Ruckus. Let me explain. Okay.
Not really, I get what you mean.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it simple for the audience. We mentioned how Ruckus was mentally and verbally abused by the parents.
But the problem is, what I really hate is his family because of how he raised him.
And this points back to a quote a friend of mine said a long time ago. Racism starts within the home.
Yeah.
As much as I despise Ruckus with a fiery passion, I have to point out he is technically an abuse victim, and heavily so. That's why I said when we were watching the episode where Ruckus's family shows up, I had to ask Justin and Zammy especially to go easy on Ruckus this one time because Ruckus's life story was really messed up. In Akito's case, the extreme mental and verbal abuse came from the mother. Not to mention raised as someone that they're clearly not, basically. Ruckus was raised to believe he was white, turning black, when actually he was black and his mom was in severe denial. Akito was raised as a boy by the mother because the mother refused to accept her as a female. And not to mention the abuse cascades from there because in the case of Akito, she ends up being abusive towards the other Zodiac members out of the desperate attempt to, prove the mother wrong. And in the same respect, Ruckus tried to prove his father wrong by basically being as, racist and toxic towards others as possible. So you see what I mean when I say the painful similarities between the two. I'm gonna be honest though, as a character, Akito needs a lot of fucking help. I gotta say it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of help.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else got thoughts on Akito? I mean,
You're a
just needs
mean
some
one, Mr. Akito.
Miss Akito.
Yeah, suck on my toe. I don't know.
What the fuck?
God damn it. Anyway,
I'm just tired. I don't know. She
Akito.
just needs some actual good dick or something because she's just.
Don't worry, Shigure actually takes care of that later.
I'd shower you with coconut cream pie.
yeah, spoiler there in the manga, but yeah.
Lucky dog.
I mean, it's actually a clip, but I'm not gonna get into that.
No.
That lucky dog. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it we need to explain.
Yeah, Crossy, any thoughts?
She a mean bitch. He a mean bitch.
You wouldn't be wrong. You know what? No matter the gender in this case, Akito's just an angry, nasty-tempered bitch.
Just need the good dicking or someone. I don't know.
Yeah.
I volunteer as tribute. I don't know.
Menage a trois.
Oh my
What?
god. Anyway.
One more thing about Akito. You guys are probably wondering why she actually let Toru live with the trio. She did it because she thought that Toru was gonna reject Yugi and Kyo because of the curse. And when she sees that it was the complete opposite, Akito just grew to hate her. most of all, like literally to the point where she hates her mother.
Yeah.
She's literally, this was not shown in the original, but it grew so much that she had this growing obsession of eliminating Toru so that she would never ever come in contact with the Soma family again. She's like just obsessed with doing that. Hates her so much.
Yep. Violent hatred indeed.
Yeah,
Shine.
Shine. But yeah, I believe we have covered all of the main characters, unless Has, you want to double check the list?
I've checked the lists already the entire time.
Covered.
Pretty much have them all covered at this point.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, Coolio.
So all we
Alright,
have
so
left are our favorite characters.
well, hold
dislike.
on, yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say you forgot a few steps, but yeah. So yeah, first up, favorite characters. So let's go around the table. Who wants to start?
Kisa
Trusty wants to start.
Kisa and Ritsu. Kisa and Ritsu. Fuck.
What about Momiji?
And also Momiji. I don't
There you
care.
go.
I have 3 babies in the series. I can't keep track of them. They always run around.
Wait, Ritsu?
Yeah,
Ritsu.
Ritsu. Cause Han watched a remake with me and Zammy on the other night while you passed out, and
Yeah.
Han got super attached to Ritsu pretty quickly.
I don't remember which one's Ritsu again.
The one
The
that
monkey.
dressed the monkey, basically.
Oh, sorry, I'm tired right now.
It's okay.
You're good. You're good. We're
We're
almost done
almost
recording.
done.
Yeah, we're almost through. Any particular reasons why, Han, or you already explained it?
I think I've already explained it. Like with Ritsu, like I kind of have a attachment because of what she's going through. Same with Momiji because of both of their backstories.
That's
Because I can relate to
understandable.
that.
I have 3 favorites. Incidentally,
By all means.
Hattori is one of them because I can relate to him a bit. Because honestly, I get the whole self-sacrificing deal, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. And to be fair, Hattori is practically like the older brother figure to damn near all of the Somas at this point.
He's actually one of the one of the 4 oldest. The 4 oldest being Shigure, Hattori, he was one of them, Ayame
and Kureno.
and Kureno. Yes, those 2 are the 4 oldest Soma members.
Fair enough. Like Hattori, like he's a character I can identify with a bit. The other 2, and this was a tough choice to make. Another like one of them was actually, believe it or not, Hatsuharu, because I can relate to an extent with in one sense, because I used to be bullied for people expecting me to be a certain type of person or a certain type of way. And I was bullied for whenever I didn't meet their supposed expectations. Because, like, for example, like, I was basically bullied for being, a person with some common sense and not wanting to be, a stereotype. And it's kind of the same with Hatsuharu for me, because Hatsuharu got bullied for being the ox, being the so-called idiot of the zodiac. But Hatsuharu, if anything, is proof that you don't have to be what people expect you to be. You be what you want to be.
Yeah, he faced his greatest enemy, the rat, as well.
Mm-hmm.
And well, look at that. They're friends.
And the last one as a favorite is, I'm gonna be honest, Ayame. He's fucking hilarious. He is the type of confidence that many people would wish to be, or want to at least get to on some level. And again, I had self-confidence issues for the longest time, so that's why he's a favorite. He's honestly a very awesome character in his own right. So yeah, there you go. Those are my 3 favorites.
Sweetheart.
Okay, I'll have to admit I have a couple of favorites more than 3.
That's fair.
One of them being Shugure. He and I'll just say
High
2 of
school
them right off the bat.
girls.
Yeah, literally Shugure and Ayame. I love them both to death. They make me laugh.
Because of the gay jokes.
Yes. It's like the type of jokes we make for a living, hun. That's the
Fair
thing.
enough.
Yes, so I could see that as us for one. And I do enjoy the characters and everything as well, but it's always a fun to be around. The other is Hatsuharu. He's a very unique and interesting character for one. I do like him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit even though he wasn't shown much or didn't see much, I actually did like Kyo's master.
Kazuma.
Yeah, I actually took a small interest in him because I was actually more curious about him after I learned about what his story was.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Another one is Hattori because I actually grew attached. I sympathize for his a bit. Like I can really, uh, I can really just
Relate.
sympathize for. Yeah, relate onto some levels of him. And another is Kyo because I don't know. He's just like, he's another relatable character in a way.
You get hot headed. Yep, you do get hot headed sometimes.
What does that even mean? I don't
I
know.
mean, to be fair, Justin, you do then get a bit hot blooded, so it's understandable.
Meh.
Yeah, you reach Inosuke levels.
Meh. I think that's pretty much it. Unless you want to name your favorite characters, huh? But I already think I know who they are.
Yeah, I actually have 4.
Let's hear them.
And they're actually maybe 5. But these are all characteristics that I have or that I lack. One would be the monkey. I
God damn it.
I can relate to him the most because I can sometimes be that exact amount of apologetic, if not more. I get easily I get easily antsy. Just yeah, I don't know what else to say. He's like I can relate to him, like family shit, and I get antsy and all that stuff, and I am very, very. I lack confidence as well. So
Highly understandable, like, given like the sheer dynamics and personality and all that.
yeah. Ayame is another one of my favorites because he is what I want to be. Whatever I lack, he has, and that's why he's my favorite. He's one of my favorites. He's super confident. He does not give a shit, and I wish I could be like that. My other favorite would have to be Hatsuharu because I identify as that as well.
Not to mention you low key simp for that man.
I we don't talk about that. I'd milk him anyway.
What? Excuse me?
I'd milk the shit out of him anyway. I can identify with Haru because I am also a sweet person. When you actually don't make me do shit, make me do a ballsy shit and get me mad, because when you do get me mad, there is that dark side, which again I connect deeply with Haru.
Oh way.
And my last favorite is Yuki, because he is the definition of how my high school days were. I truly believe that I was extremely disliked by the school, truthfully, because of I thought, I can't really state it because, but he thinks that everyone only likes him because of this and that, but it's not like that. But yeah, I can identify with Yuki because he's lonely. He's very hard to understand in a way, and that's why I connect with him as well. So those are my favorites: Hatsuharu, Yuki, the monkey, and Ayame.
All right.